Matt has come to a gin distillery in Chiswick, West London.
I'm here to meet a man called Jared Brown. He's the master distiller at Sipsmith Gin, and he's going to tell us the fantastic story of how a foreign king turned us into a nation of gin drinkers. Now, it might look like a drab, anonymous warehouse, but through those doors, that's where the magic happens.
Welcome.
Hi, Jared. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. This is extraordinary. So talk me through, I mean, it's the hissing that strikes you first, doesn't it?
Oh, that's
everywhere.
the steam heating these stills,
Okay.
warming them up.
Sipsmith is the first copper pot distillery to open within London city limits in nearly 2 centuries.
These are the botanicals that we use in the gin.
Okay.
The star of the show, of course, is the juniper.
Juniper.
But by volume, the next ingredient is Russian coriander. This is cinnamon, and then we use orris root licorice, which gives the perception of sweetness on the palate.
So all of these, without fail, will be in every single
Yes.
gin. It's amazing.
London dry gin, as we know it, evolved from a simple juniper-flavoured grain spirit produced in Holland, the home of William of Orange, who was soon to become William III of England. At that time, it wasn't even called gin. It was called Geneva.
I've got some Geneva here.
Wow.
It's still made in the Netherlands. And first, note the color.
It looks like whiskey.
Yeah, exactly.
When William married the British Queen Mary II in 1689, he began to encourage gin production here. But it wasn't just because he liked the taste. He had some very pragmatic reasons.
They were at war with France, and he saw an opportunity to kill 2 birds with 1 stone of ending imports of French brandy and using up the grain surplus by promoting distilling in England.
Did he say, I'm going to pass a law to make it easy for anyone to open a distillery?
He threw the door open, and if you wanted to be a gin distiller, you put a sign up.
Right.
And in 10 days, that was a legal distilling premise. What King William did with that simple act was he made gin, or Geneva, cheaper than beer. It exploded. In 1721, there was a working gin still in 1 out of every 4 buildings in London.
Geneva, at this point, was abbreviated to gin and fast became a blight, as documented in Hogarth's cartoon of 1751, Gin Lane, a copy of which Jared keeps behind the bar.
This is anti-gin propaganda in action that was paid for by the brewing industry, who was losing so much money at the time because gin was cheaper than beer.
Such was the anti-gin outcry, Parliament finally succeeded in regulating gin production. The Gin Act of 1751 brought long overdue quality control and helped refine and transform gin from the scourge of a nation to its national drink.
America, they have whiskey. Mexico has their agave spirits. France has their brandies. For England, it's gin.
Most of us love our gin with tonic and a slice of lemon. But the Queen Mother had her own particular recipe.
From what I've heard, she would stop off at the American bar at the Savoy and have a gin and it, which
Okay, what does that mean?
Gin with Italian. The it is short for Italian vermouth.
Okay.
And when you refer to it as Italian vermouth, that generally means the sweet or rosso vermouth.
3 parts gin and 1 part Italian vermouth. The gin and it had floated across the Atlantic during Prohibition in the 1920s and was a big hit in London, where the bright young things had gone cocktail mad.
Harry Craddock, who would have possibly also served drinks to the Queen Mum, he said a cocktail should be drunk while it's still laughing at you.
But on that note,
Cheers.
cheers. Oh, that is delicious.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, that is. That really is.
Yeah.
I might have to have another sip.
200 years ago, people would eat gingerbread as they sipped their gin,